What if every single big decision you've made didn't just fade away? What if it actually, sparked a whole new universe?
A reality where you took the other path.
Exactly. And what if those old stories, about lost civilizations like Atlantis? What if they hold secrets about, reality itself?
Secrets we haven't grasped yet.
Yeah. And what if the key to it all isn't out there somewhere, but inside you, in your own mind?
It's a compelling thought.
It really is. Watch this video until the end. You might be genuinely surprised by where this goes. Welcome to the deep dive.
We dig into the fascinating, the unexplained.
Today, it's a real cosmic adventure. We're blending cutting-edge science, deep spirituality, and those mysteries from the past, all inspired by the incredible work of Dolores Cannon.
Dolores Cannon, yeah. She was a real pioneer, wasn't she? Exploring consciousness through hypnotic regression.
Decades of it.
And she mapped out these incredible territories, parallel universes existing right next to ours, lost civilizations like Atlantis.
Right, and this deeper spiritual reality connecting everything, it suggests we're only seeing a tiny piece of the picture.
Precisely. Her work is kind of a map, maybe, to a reality that's just bigger, stranger, more interconnected than we usually think.
Way bigger. So whether you're deep into this stuff already, or just curious about reality, or, stumbled here, get ready for some questions.
Questions you might not have considered before.
Imagine it, a universe for every choice. Ancient people with mental powers that, dwarf our tech. Your soul may be living multiple lives at once.
Sounds like sci-fi, I know.
Totally. But what if science and spirituality are starting to tell the same story? What if myths and physics are pointing to the same, incredible truth?
That convergence is exactly what we're diving into. We'll look at the science of parallel universes, quantum physics, cosmology.
And the lost civilizations, right? Atlantis, Lemuria.
Yeah.
Are they just legends or echoes of something real?
And we'll weave in the spiritual side, New Age ideas, shamanism, ancient wisdom, all hinting at this bigger multidimensional reality.
Our goal isn't to give you all the answers, though. Let's be clear on that.
No, not at all. It's about opening doors, asking questions that might just shift how you see everything. It's going to be a long one, folks. There's a lot here.
Ready to step through that first door?
Let's do it.
Okay, so have you ever just stopped and wondered, what's just beyond what we can see or touch?
Then maybe our whole universe, as huge as it seems, is just one thread.
Yeah. In this, infinite cosmic tapestry, each thread vibrating with its own reality.
It's not just philosophy anymore, is it? It's something physicists are genuinely grappling with.
Exactly. And what's amazing is how close this lines up with Dolores Cannon's work. She described these parallel universes, alternative realities, right here, alongside us.
Unseen, but close.
So let's look at the science first. How does it even begin to approach these, pretty far-out ideas?
Well, one big area is the physics of possibility, the idea that every choice you make creates a split.
So, you said yes to that job, in another universe you said no, and that reality just branched off.
Right. It sounds wild, but it connects to serious theories. Like the multiverse hypothesis, Alan Guth and others suggest our universe is maybe one bubble in a cosmic ocean of bubbles.
Each bubble potentially having different physical laws.
Potentially, yeah. Born from that initial rapid expansion after the Big Bang. And then there's the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, Hugh Everett's idea.
That's the one where every quantum possibility actually happens.
Basically, yes, a particle in multiple states. When it settles, reality splits, creating parallel universes for each outcome.
Okay, now bring in Dolores Cannon. Her regressions. They painted a similar picture, didn't they?
Very similar. Countless universes side by side, each vibrating at a unique frequency, like different radio stations,
She used that analogy of a cloth, right? Interwoven, always shifting.
Exactly. The differences could be tiny, like a small detail changed, or massive, like a completely different history.
It sounds abstract, maybe, but then you think about string theory.
Right. String theory proposes extra dimensions beyond our usual three-space, one time.
Dimensions that vibrate at frequencies we can't perceive.
So the question becomes, could those extra dimensions be the other realities Cannon's subjects were describing?
It really makes you think. Is science catching up to what mystics have sensed for ages?
Hold that thought, because it gets deeper when we bring in consciousness.
Consciousness. The big mystery. How does that fit into the parallel universes? How would we even know they exist?
Well, the answer might not be bigger telescopes, but our own minds. Neuroscience shows how our brain constructs reality from sensory data, right?
Sure. It builds our world.
But what if consciousness is more than just brain activity? What if it's a link, a bridge?
Cannon definitely thought so. She called it an unbounded force.
Yeah, capable of reaching beyond our physical limits, maybe even connecting with other universes, other versions of ourselves.
It sounds out there, but you see hints in science too, don't you? Like the observer effect in quantum physics.
Exactly. The idea that just observing something changes the outcome. As if consciousness isn't just watching, but participating.
And philosophers like David Chalmers are asking if consciousness is fundamental, not just something that pops out of matter.
Cannon took it further, suggesting we might bump into these other realities without even realizing it.
Like when things feel off. A misplaced object, a weird memory, a conversation you swear happened but didn't.
Her subjects often said those were brief overlaps. Our consciousness just brushing against another reality.
So those glitches in the Matrix, maybe they're not just glitches. Maybe they're clues.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Will you notice those moments differently now?
Let's make this more concrete. Everyday stuff. Ever seen a doppelganger? Someone who looks exactly like you?
Spooky when that happens.
Or visited a new place and felt intense déjà vu. Like you've been there before, but you know you haven't.
Cannon suggested these could be signs of universes intersecting briefly. The veil thinning.
She mentioned doppelgangers appearing when two realities momentarily align. Or small changes, like a landmark vanishing. Cosmic overlap.
And then there are places like the Bermuda Triangle.
Ah, yes. Infamous.
Her subjects described it as an energy vortex, a doorway almost, where ships and planes could slip into another reality if their vibrations mismatch.
Okay, science doesn't fully explain all that, obviously,
Right.
but it doesn't just dismiss it either.
Right. Geologists have studied magnetic anomalies there. Physicists theorize about wormholes tunnels through space-time,
Which could link distant points or maybe even different universes.
theoretically. And psychology studies déjà vu, false memories. Our minds are complex. Maybe they do interact with other realities in ways we don't get yet.
Cannon's view adds that intriguing layer. Maybe these aren't just random quirks. Maybe they're glimpses into a multidimensional existence.
So next time something feels weirdly out of place, could it be reality brushing against another? It definitely keeps you open to possibilities.
Absolutely. And hey, by the way, if this whole topic, parallel universes, consciousness, the science of the unseen, if this is grabbing you, well, you're in the right place.
This is exactly the kind of stuff we love exploring.
And here's some good news. If you're enjoying this, and maybe drop a comment below letting us know what you think. YouTube actually gets better at knowing your taste.
Yeah, it helps the algorithm recommend more videos like this one to you, which is pretty cool.
It is. And also, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, doing that and maybe sharing this video with someone else who'd find it interesting, that really helps us out.
It supports the channel and helps spread these kinds of conversations. Okay, back to the mysteries.
Right. Let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about myths. What if they're not just stories?
What if they're echoes? Echoes of ancient truths buried by time, by oceans.
Imagine civilizations with abilities that make our tech look, well, basic.
Manipulating huge stones with their minds. Understanding the cosmos in ways we've forgotten.
That's the realm of lost civilizations. Places like Atlantis, Lemuria. Legends that have fascinated people forever.
And through Dolores Cannon's work, these aren't just legends. They're described as vivid realities from the past.
A past that might still be influencing us now. Let's dig into those ancient mysteries.
Atlantis. Just the name.
It conjures so much, right? Shining cities, crystals, a catastrophic end beneath the waves.
Well, was it just a myth? Plato's allegory? Or something real?
Well, Dolores Cannon, after thousands of sessions, she was convinced. Atlantis was real, not just an island, but a global civilization thousands of years ago.
And her subjects describe people with extraordinary mental powers.
Yeah, manipulating energy, levitating huge stones with thought alone, tapping into Earth's energy grid.
Powering structures like massive stone computers.
Sounds like fantasy, I know. But then you look at Stonehenge, the pyramids. How did they build those?
Modern engineering still struggles to explain some of it. It suggests a level of knowledge we don't account for in our standard history.
And Cannon's version wasn't static. Atlantis advanced, experimented, and then fell.
Her subjects talked about Atlantean scientists pushing boundaries, maybe too far, creating hybrid creatures.
Part human, part animal. Driven by curiosity, maybe arrogance.
Not just myths like minotaurs, but actual biological experiments whose echoes might survive in legend.
But the end was devastating, according to her subjects. Volcanoes, earthquakes.
Misuse of powerful energies tearing the land apart, sinking beneath the Atlantic.
But not everyone perished, right? The story includes survivors.
Exactly. Carrying fragments of that knowledge elsewhere, notably to Egypt. Influencing the pyramids, perhaps.
It makes you look at those ancient stones differently, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Could they hold secrets of that lost world? What if we could find definitive proof?
And Atlantis wasn't the only one. Across the Pacific, there's Lemuria.
Often seen as the more spiritual counterpart to Atlantis' tech focus.
Cannon's work connects Lemuria to the Nazca lines in Peru. Those giant desert drawings you only see from the air.
Her subjects claimed they weren't just art.
No. They said they were landing guides for spacecraft, created by Lemurian descendants to welcome visitors from the stars.
Wow. Just pause on that. A civilization marking landscapes like cosmic airports long before we could fly.
It's a staggering thought, but the story doesn't end there either. Cannon's work hints at other lost worlds too.
Like the Mayans, seemingly vanishing. Or vast underground communities, maybe still hidden.
Some might have been Atlantean survivors, others even older. Cultures wiped out by floods, buried by volcanic ash, waiting to be found.
And archaeology does confirm massive cataclysms in Earth's past. Huge eruptions, sea level changes that wiped out societies.
Could those be the same events that swallow the worlds Cannon described? If we found ruins, what secrets would they hold?
About their tech, their spirituality,
Yeah.
maybe our own origins.
Let's try to bridge this to evidence. Archaeologists still puzzle over how ancient people moved those massive stones, tons and tons, positioned with incredible precision.
Sometimes better than we can do now.
And geologists find proof of ancient floods, huge eruptions that reshaped continents. It hints our history might be deeper, more complex than we think.
Gaps where advanced civilizations could fit.
So Cannon's descriptions of Atlantean mental powers, energy manipulation, sounds like sci-fi maybe.
Until you realize we're exploring levitation now. Acoustic, magnetic,
Could they have unlocked principles we're just rediscovering?
and the genetics thing. Atlanteans manipulating genes, creating hybrids.
Seems fantastical. But look at modern bioengineering, CRISPR?
Are we unknowingly echoing ancient capabilities, maybe even ancient mistakes? Could those mythological creatures have a basis in fact?
And the survivors seeding new cultures, Egypt, South America. Could the pyramids, Nazca lines be fragments of a shared ancient wisdom, a legacy from a time of deeper connection?
The questions just get bigger, don't they? What else is hidden? And again, folks, if these explorations into ancient mysteries resonate, let us know in the comments.
Your feedback really helps guide our content and connect with others interested in this stuff. Subscribing and sharing also makes a big difference. Thanks. Okay, where do we go next?
Let's shift into the spiritual dimension now. The idea that maybe you aren't just confined to this body, this life, this moment.
That your soul might be part of a much larger tapestry, experiencing multiple roles across different dimensions.
Exactly. And that understanding your place might involve awakening something deeper within.
This is where Cannon's work really blends with spiritual traditions, where science, history, and mysticism start to converge.
From New Age ideas to ancient shamanism, these traditions often echo what Cannon uncovered, suggesting we're part of something much grander.
A cosmic dance.
Let's step into that mystical realm. See how these perspectives intertwine. Maybe catch a glimpse of our own infinite potential.
Think about meditation. You quiet your mind, focus your breath, and maybe an image pops up.
A memory that isn't yours. A place you've never been. A feeling of living another life.
That kind of experience is central to a lot of New Age thinking. The idea that we are multidimensional beings, living parallel lives.
Cannon's work fits right in here, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Her subjects describe souls splintering, kind of into many points of awareness.
Each experiencing a different universe, a different life simultaneously. Have you ever felt like you're more than just this?
That intuition. Maybe it's a whisper from another part of yourself. Another you, just beyond the veil.
New Age practices often aim to raise consciousness to perceive these other realities, like tuning a radio.
Meditation, past life regression, which was Cannon's main tool. Of course, energy work.
All seen as ways to unlock that wider awareness. And Cannon talked about energy vortexes too, specific places on Earth.
Like Sedona, or the Bermuda Triangle again. Gateways to other dimensions.
That's the idea. Places where the energy is potent, the veil is thin. Many seekers feel drawn to these spots.
Imagine standing there, feeling that shift in the air. Could focused intention open a door, even briefly? What would you learn?
Let's go deeper into esoteric wisdom, those hidden teachings passed down through ages.
They often describe a multi-layered cosmos too, right? Physical planes, subtle realms.
Very much so. And places like Atlantis and Lemuria weren't just locations, but spiritual centers. Their wisdom perhaps encoded in ancient texts or structures.
Cannon's concept of the oversoul, The higher self integrating all your lives that resonates here too.
Strongly, it echoes esoteric ideas of a soul that's both one and infinite, a fractal of the universe having experiences.
And the idea that these ancient civilizations held keys to cosmic truth, used their abilities to connect to higher realms.
Cannon's subjects described Atlanteans attuned to a universal energy field, aligning with esoteric concepts.
Which brings us back to the megaliths. What if they weren't just tombs or temples?
What if they were tools for cosmic connection? Anchors to higher dimensions, waiting for us to figure them out again.
Makes you look at ancient symbols differently. Are they clues pointing back to lost wisdom?
Now let's journey east. Hinduism, Buddhism. They've pondered time and existence for millennia.
Hindu thought often sees time as cyclical, not linear. Past, present, future coexisting.
Which aligns incredibly well with Cannon's idea of all lives happening simultaneously. Your soul experiencing different forms across realities right now.
And the concept of Brahman, the ultimate universal consciousness.
Very similar to Cannon's unbounded consciousness permeating everything, manifesting through different lopas or planes of existence, often beyond our senses.
And shamanism, journeys to other realms.
Absolutely. Using drumming, chanting, altered states to access worlds of spirits, non-physical beings.
Cannon's vortexes sound a lot like shamanic places of power.
Exactly. Sacred sites where the veil between worlds is thin. Imagine a shaman guiding you there. Could you glimpse another dimension, recognize parts of yourself already there?
These traditions see reality as fluid, interconnected, not fixed, with doorways hidden all around us.
Now let's push even further. Extraterrestrial connections.
But Cannon's work is full of accounts of ETs, right? Beings from other stars traveling between universes.
Using portals, advanced tech to shift dimensions. This fits with some spiritual views of ETs as guides, playing a role in cosmic evolution.
The idea of Atlantean survivors going to the stars and returning, or ancient sites as contact points.
It raises questions about our accepted history, that ancient humans have more contact with off-world beings than we think.
And the New Age starseed concept, people feeling connected to other star systems. Maybe echoes of ancient interstellar links. Ever look at the stars and feel homesick?
It's a common feeling for some. And finally, Gnosticism.
Ancient philosophy viewing reality as a puzzle, solvable through inner knowledge, gnosis.
Cannon's multidimensional soul-seeking awakening feels very Gnostic. Reality having hidden layers of truth.
Gnostics might see Atlantis symbolically a lost age of spiritual insight, hidden now by materialism.
So that next flash of insight, that vivid dream, that weird coincidence, could it be your soul nudging you towards deeper knowledge? Towards gnosis?
What if the answers are already inside you, waiting, a profound thought?
So what happens when all these threads, science, spirituality, ancient mysteries start weaving together?
We've looked at parallel universes, lost civilizations, spiritual perspectives.
In Dolores Cannon's work sits right at that intersection, doesn't it? Where these fields don't just exist side by side, but actually light each other up.
The boundaries blur. Asking questions becomes more important than finding fixed answers.
And you, the listener, might be asking, are we on the verge of rediscovering some fundamental truth about reality?
Let's think about that convergence.
Imagine a physicist, a shaman, and an archaeologist talking. Different languages, different frameworks.
Quantum mechanics, consciousness, ancient artifacts.
But as they share, connections emerge. The physicist's multiverses echo Cannon's parallel realities.
The shaman's journeys to other realms resonate with consciousness exploring dimensions.
The archaeologist's unexplained ancient tech lends weight to stories of lost, advanced societies.
Are they describing different facets of the same cosmic truth?
People often pit science against spirituality, but maybe that's wrong.
Both are trying to understand the mysteries beyond what we immediately see.
Quantum physics hints at consciousness shaping reality, a core spiritual idea.
Archaeology finds evidence of cataclysms that fit myths of lost worlds.
Even the idea of a higher self finds echoes in psychology's look at consciousness. Cannon's work bridges these, suggesting they're partners, not rivals.
Different lenses on the same grand picture. What if the next big breakthrough shows they were pointing at the same thing all along? What are we missing?
Okay, this is fascinating, but what does it mean for you day to day?
If parallel universes are real, if ancient clues exist, if your consciousness is multidimensional, how does that change things?
Cannon's work encourages seeing the ordinary as extraordinary, tuning into synchronicities, resonances.
That déjà vu, that gut feeling about a choice, could they be whispers from other realities? other versions of you?
Are your choices today creating ripples across dimensions you can't even see yet?
You don't need special training to explore this. Just be present.
Notice the energy of places. Could it be a vortex? Let your mind wander about other realities.
Read about lost civilizations, quantum physics, spirituality. See what resonates.
Share your weird experiences. Listen to others. Curiosity and an open mind are key, as Cannon showed.
What shifts might happen if you stay open to the unexplained? What's the first step you might take?
Ultimately, this whole exploration, it's about wonder, isn't it?
Refusing to accept a limited reality when so much suggests it's bigger, stranger, more amazing.
Cannon's stories are invitations to expand what we think is possible. They challenge us.
What if reality is more like a playground than a prison? What if the edges of our understanding are just starting lines?
This convergence doesn't demand blind belief in every detail.
No, just openness. A willingness to consider that maybe science hasn't mapped everything, maybe ancient wisdom still matters.
Science gives us tools for the outer world, spirituality for the inner. Together, they light up the path into the unknown.
So what questions are stirring in you now? What's your next step?
We've reached a point of reflection. We journeyed through parallel universes, potential new realities with every choice.
We explored lost worlds like Atlantis and Lemuria, sparking the imagination.
And we touched on spiritual insights, suggesting a vast, interconnected, multidimensional reality, all inspired by Dolores Cannon.
Seeing how science, history, and spirit might offer complementary views. The goal wasn't final answers.
No, it was about opening doors, igniting curiosity, embracing the wonder.
Think about your own consciousness. Maybe it's vaster than, touching other realities.
Reflect on ancient mysteries. Could they hold forgotten wisdom? Keep exploring spiritual insights. Cannon reminds us wonders are everywhere, inside and out.
And you can continue exploring. Stay curious, pay attention, keep asking questions.
Notice places that feel special. Let your mind explore possibilities. Read, share, listen. The journey is ongoing. Every question is a step.
Remember, these ideas suggest you're part of something immense, interconnected, a player in a grand cosmic story.
Your journey matters.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we leave you with this. What will be your next step? Which question will you explore next?
You should see 2 videos appearing on your screen now. Each offers a different path to continue exploring.
Click on the one that calls to you. And until next time, keep wondering. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it. Really hopes others find this too.